It's sad times, guys. The War Within is coming to an end, and if this has been your favorite expansion, first of all, I would tell you, go get yourself checked out. You got mental issues. But second of all, it really hasn't been a bad expansion. Okay, it's been all right, been a good time, and there's a few things you can still do before midnight launches to get everything you want to get. Here we go. 5 things you should do before midnight launches. From Dalaran Gaming, let's check this one out here and see what our to-do list should be before this expansion ends.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the next WoW expansion of Midnight is fast approaching. Since we found out when the official release date of this expansion is going to be, we also find out the pre-patch is coming out in, about a month from today. This means you only have a limited window left in War Within, and that means some of those unique rewards from War Within, particularly seasonal rewards or events or things, are going to be going away very, very soon. So you actually have a fairly limited time window to start getting ready for that next expansion. But also, this is like your last chance to tie off some of those current available seasonal rewards before
Is anyone else excited for New Silvermoon? I really am. I think that's going to be a cool-ass hub city. I do. I mean, Dornegal has been fine for what it is. You know, it's a dwarven, square-ass fucking city. We've had some good ones and some bad ones. You know, Oribos, the Sky Dildo, fucking horrible hub city. Dalaran is kind of overused at this point. I feel like the first time I've really been excited for a hub city in a while is the Silvermoon one. I feel like this is going to be a nice place to just be. And we all know the music, the violins. I mean, it's going to be, you know, S-tier music, S-tier vibes for sure. And the whole Horde and Alliance kind of mixing. I'm telling you, I'm going to form up a raid. We're going to go into the Horde section for sure. But I'm kind of excited for this hub city.
Are gone and they will be going away, not going back, I don't think, anytime soon. But also, this is your opportunity to also handle a handful of quests ahead of time, especially if you're looking to dive into a Void Elf Demon Hunter at some point in the future, maybe even as early.
I would say maybe Zandalar and Kultiris. Hawk, yeah, that's a good... Zandalar and Kultiris were probably the last two like hub cities that I was legitimately excited for. And actually, they were good. If you played in Kultiris... Very immersive, nice, cool hub city. Zandalar was badass too. Great music. The only thing was that Zandalar was annoying with the flying. The up and down flying in that city was freaking... It was... I don't know why they tiered it up so much like that. But overall, like the cities, those cities were nice. Yeah, those were good hub cities.
As Midnight pre-patch, if that's what you're looking to do. So I wanted to go over the checklist of things that you start probably working on right now before Midnight is finally here. So let's get to this to-do list. But before that, if you guys want to get more regular updates regarding WoW's next expansion of Midnight, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in. Now, one of the first things I think you should really focus on right now, especially if you're looking to play a Void Elf Demon Hunter, whether it's Devourer or as any other spec in Midnight, is definitely get all those quest requirements, prerequisites out of the way. To unlock Void Elf Demon Hunter, you have to do a number of things. Like if you're somebody who is just joining the game and you have not unlocked Void Elves, for instance, then you should definitely do that. If you
There's no more reputation grinds for any of these, right? Now the unlocks are all just do a quest line, right? That's it. So it shouldn't take long to get this.
Haven't unlocked them so far. For that, you need to have a character at least of level 40, and then the quest line itself starts over in the Alliance Stormwind capital city, over back where the embassy building is.
Yeah, unlock
you have
Demon
a
Hunters.
quest called the Ghost Sands. Completing that is how
Void
it
Elves.
unlocks you the Void Elves. But for most of you that already do have Void Elves completed, you will also need to complete a quest called A Common Cause questline in Koresh, which starts out with Illidari Adarius, you know, the boss of one of the encounters within Manaforge Omega, the original Devourer Demon Hunter. So it's not the longest quest line. It starts out in Shantora, flight path in the zone of Koresh. And it is required to get the quest line that does unlock the actual
I didn't know that.
Demon Hunter. So you'll need to complete the entirety of it ahead of time, which is kind of like a quest line where Demon Hunter was able to dive into the void and harness the void for their own. And after that, once Midnight actually launches, you'll get the big quest line from Umbric that allows you a very, very short quest line that actually unlocks Void Elf Demon Hunters that allows you to play as a Void Elf Demon Hunter, which afterwards you can either level a Void Elf Demon Hunter or use one of the account services to swap one of the Demon Hunters to a Void Elf. But after that, you're good to go, and you're more than welcome to start leveling as a Void Elf Demon Hunter. Those should be available once pre-patch launches, which is very, very soon. But completing those prerequisite quest lines ahead of time, especially if you want to play a Void Elf Demon Hunter or looking to level one in the future, might be a good idea. The next thing you should probably do is finish out.
Honestly, you know, Void Elf Demon Hunters are okay, but I think Nightborn Demon Hunters would have been cooler. Because they have a slightly different silhouette, at least. I mean, they are kind of like the Night Elf silhouette, but just like a little bit skinnier. I think Void Elf Demon Hunter, what are you getting out of it if you unlock it? Besides, you know, it's just it's a purple blood elf. You're getting an emo blood elf. That's it. There's no difference in terms of the skeleton or the look of it or anything. You get purple hair. Congratulations. I don't see why Blizzard went with that instead of giving you, as I said before, they are malnutrition. Yeah, that's what they are. They're malnutritioned night elves. So I thought those would have been cooler. You know, maybe going to Suramar a little bit, do some of that shit. But yeah, Nightborn, not happening, at least for now. It was data mined that they did get the animations for Demon Hunter, so that might come down the line.
All of these Season 3 awards for War Within, especially if you are still playing.
I think Nightborn will happen eventually, yeah.
That will be going away once the season is officially over, as there are certain seasonal rewards that are available right now that will be going away with Midnight, either pre-patch or the actual official launch. We're a little bit always fuzzy on the details, and Blizzard seems to change those with every single expansion, but it's good to start getting all those things out of the way before they are gone. If you're raiding, it's a good idea to go and finish out all of your tier sets to collect as many appearances as possible. At the very least, get the Mythic appearance, because that generally tends to be one of the best ones that's available out there. Of course, there's also a AOTC mount called the Royal Voidwing, which you'll get for defeating Demencios on heroic difficulty. That will be going away once expansion officially launches. And if you're raiding on Mythic, there's always the Unbound Star Eater mount, which is not technically going away, but right now it's guaranteed. You get like 3 of them every single time you defeat the boss as a drop. In the future, it's going to be made into like a 1% drop, so it'll be much harder to farm.
This mount will be farmed. This is honestly, Blizzard did a great job with this one. The Mythic mount, the freaking voidy ass portal dragon, this thing will be farmed into eternity. Probably it's less than a 1% drop though after the season ends, but people will do it once they're high enough item level to go back and just one shot these bosses.
And with not as many people going back to the raid until it's soloable, it's going to be a good while until you can actually unlock.
Probably like in 2 expansions or something.
Unless you're somebody who's currently Mythic raiding as of this moment. Of course, if you're doing Mythic Plus dungeons, we also have the Keystone Master as well as Keystone Legend mounts. Like there's your Void Flare as well as the Scarlet Void Flare. One of them requires you 2,000 points in Mythic Plus score to achieve. The other requires you 3,000. So if you're someone who's doing Mythic Plus right now, that would be a pretty good time to get to it as of this moment.
Yeah,
and one of these dungeons also has a portal tied to them. So if you haven't unlocked all of your portals, which are not really necessary in the future, but are so nice to have later down the line if you want to port to various different expansions for older content. This is just a huge convenience to have. Completing any of these dungeons on a +10 difficulty for Tessavation, you need to complete both parts, the market as well as the Gambit side, in order to unlock the portal. But completing this on a +10 difficulty right now, if you're currently doing Mythic Plus dungeons, would be a really big thing to go along the way. Of course, with Delves, we have the Delver's Mana Skimmer, as well as all the different customizations that are available for this Delve mount specifically, as well as the Hyperdrive version for defeating the final challenge boss of Kaiveza as a solo player on the hardest difficulty. Both of those are available from this season as well. One, the basic one, is available through a simple questline and an achievement, but the other one is from a challenge fight specifically, which is notoriously difficult. On top of it, with Delves, we also have the seasonal Dev's Journey with a variety of different rewards that you can collect as you complete the rest of the season. From there, you also do have Reno Jackson with Delve Treasures, where you could find and purchase a lot of those rewards.
I believe this the currency doesn't carry over, right? Doesn't this currency like reset every season? So you might as well just go spend the shit out of it and get all the transmog and everything available.
Some being old, some being new, as well as Sir Furlemington, which gives you even more cosmetic rewards for you to be able to obtain.
We're gonna do time walking raid tomorrow, probably.
Though his are going to cost you
probably do it on stream,
which is a warbound transferable currency. But this is where you'll be able to get a lot of the older rewards, but also newer rewards for the season. As with the coins and the vendors, I'm likely going to keep the coins as a War Within currency, and you might need to do War Within content if you want to complete this stuff now. But I would say do it right now, since War Within content is current and farming these coins isn't that difficult, especially if you have a couple of alts and just run a handful of delves. You should be able to purchase majority of the cool cosmetic items from the season fairly easily. For the PvP rewards, I do need to hop on Morrogue for this one specifically, just to show off even more vendors, but off the bat, we also do have a tier set variation, or rather a recolor, that is available from PvP. Specifically, we have the elite sets, which are available for every single class, and is unlocked at 1800 PvP score in any PvP bracket, but also the basic conquest set as well, which is yet another recolor that you can add to your collection. Eventually, those will be purchasable for another currency called Marks of Honor, but if you just want to complete the collection right now so you don't need to purchase it later, that's another way of you going up.
I haven't PvP'd in so long. Is it even hard to get an 1800 rating? Like, if we legit formed up a group from stream and just tried to get an 1800 rating, you guys think it would take long? Because if I like the recolors of the sets, we could just go for that before the expansion's over. Greg from accounting, I love watching stream. Thanks. I appreciate it, Doc. Well, I guess we'll see. No response there. PvP 1800 rating, probably not hard if we try. We'll see.
About this as
For
well.
you, Sam,
the
yes,
elite sets are not going to be purchasable, so those you will want to work after right now while the season is currently active. We also do have the weapon enchant as of this moment called of Arcane. It's really good. It's very bright, very loud. Definitely looks better even on certain other pieces, weapons and such. It looks better in game, I would say, than the previous screen also, but definitely something that you want to pick up right now while the season is active. Also this season you could collect a variety of different weapon recolors, which also will be sold for Marks of Honor, which are like the Koreshi weapons, but they all have this like really bright red recolor, and there's a variety of these weapons, from bows to swords, just about every single type of weapon for every different class, and it has this like red angry aesthetic to it, which I'm a huge fan of, so those you want to pick up right now. If you reach 2400, there's also the tabard, which is very difficult to make transmogs with, but it definitely is one of the more unique tabards that we had. So if you're looking to pick up tabards, or someone who values tabards, that was also achievable this season as well. We also have the PvP seasonal mount. That's basically a participation mount from rated content. As soon as you get about 1000 rating, you start accumulating wins towards the mount, so it's definitely something that you'll want to complete.
Yeah, we need a better PvP mount. This one's just no good. I'm not gonna go for it.
Technically, these mounts are available.
My Gladiator days are way behind me, honestly. I haven't gotten Gladiator. When was the last time I got it? I can't even remember. It's been a long time. So I wouldn't even go for this anymore.
For you to purchase later, but you need to collect
I'm not quick enough for Gladiator
and then
anymore.
you just keep winning more games to get more saddles to repurchase older
and this
mounts.
isn't even for that.
So while those are not going
PvP
away, they are definitely going to be a little bit more of a grind to obtain in the future. So you might as well collect this one while you can. Of course, there's also the PvP mount, the big Gladiator mount, which I'm so glad that they did like the whole recolor for this thing instead, towards like right before the season launch. Instead of just giving you another like Legion looking felt bat, they gave you a cosmic bat instead, which fits the season super well. Definitely one of the more striking mounts, and if you're somebody who's PvPing right now and are in that Gladiator range, definitely it's going to be worth your time to get this mount as soon as possible. Now, there's also another reward that you should probably start working on right now before War Within is over, and that is your Gear Grinder MK11 mount, which is a pretty awesome, kind of like a War Within Completionist mount with its own animation, mostly just the engine rumbling, but also its special animation where it just plays a lot of this like bumper carts with other Gear Grinders, if that's what you want to do with it. Definitely one of the more unique mounts they've added, and this is a big Completionist mount from a fairly big achievement as part of the expansion features called World Soul Searching. This one requires you to do a lot of War Within things.
Probably done a lot of this already.
War Within, you have a good majority of these completed, but doing all these achievements right now while War Within is the current active expansion is probably the best thing you could do.
I gotta check that one. Maybe we get that achievement today.
As of this moment, because a lot of these activities are going to be harder once Midnight is the current expansion and nobody's.
Have any of you guys gotten it already?
You need to complete things like complete all of the War Within raids, which is easier to do now. Complete a variety of different world events from all the world content. Do rep stuff with all the old factions of War Within. The zone stuff like in Undermine as well as in Koresh, as well as do a variety of different group content. But you want to try working on this achievement now because a lot of the content required for this achievement is going to be easier as of this moment, while players are still queuing a variety of War Within content.
True.
Because in Midnight, a lot of players are going to be focusing on Midnight content, so it'll be a little bit harder for you to complete achievement as well as get this amount added to your collections. Also, you should take the time to complete all of the rewards from Legion Remix, which is a unique piece of content that will be retiring actually somewhat soon.
That's
With
right.
Legion Remix giving you a variety of different rewards, some of which are going to be zone rewards, so completing Stormheim Zone, High Mountain, Valshara, Suramar, Azuna, as well as the Broken Shore and Argus, all awards is some unique Legion Remix specific reward that won't be coming back anytime soon. Like, for example, on this character alone, I have the Ajara dress, which is part of the Suramar zone, the
Nice.
weapons which come from the Stormheim area, as well as the enchant around those weapons, which comes from Valshara. And then there's also a couple of pets, a shield and a back piece from
It's a nice
Broken Shore
transmog.
or Argus. I can't remember which one is it. I think it is Broken Shore, as well as also like Scythe of Sargeras that'll be available from Mythic, Argus as well, the green scythe instead of the red and the
Got
blue
it.
one, as well as all the different vendors that sell you items for bronze around.
I have a whole video out there. Well, it's technically a React video about how to get all the bronze quickly right now to like 200k freaking bronze in a week. So all this shit that you want to get from Legion Remix is super easy to get right now, especially in this like final phase of the final phase where they like empowered everything to be super overpowered. Like you can easily just go grind out all this shit right now from Legion Remix.
The main bazaar area with a ton of different transmogs, some of which are unique for Legion Remix specifically, and some are returning items that you can obtain in Legion just with now a guaranteed drop that can be traded for bronze instead of like RNG farming these items like Xavier's shoulders, for instance. There's also a bunch of mounts, new and original ones that you can collect and obtain as well. Variety of different cosmetic rewards such as collectibles with pets, toys, and things like that. But in Legion Remix, it's also an opportunity for you to be able to unlock artifact weapon skins, whether through the original methods
Right,
or
got
some of
'em
the
all.
new ones adapted for Legion Remix,
Just
with
so
some
good
of
at
the
this
hidden
game.
skins and some of the more challenging skins to unlock becoming a little bit easier as they get traded in for bronze instead. So you go farming bronze and then you trade the bronze for the items that's necessary for you to unlock some of those options, which can actually make it a little bit easier and a lot less grindier, like the Paladin hidden skin for the Corrupted Ashbringer, for instance, which is much easier in essence to unlock in Legion Remix than will be actually farming for that thing in live realms. So definitely get all those things out of the way as soon as possible. Legion Remix has been a ton of fun, but if anything, it's an opportunity for you to collect a lot of the Legion rewards right now with a much easier way of doing it, while also having fun creating a very broken, powerful character.
Right.
Also, don't forget, the Turbulent Timeways is currently active for the time being until Midnight officially launches, so you should definitely take advantage of it because it also brings with it some unique rewards. For example, we have the achievement of Master of the Turbulent Timeways. As you do more time walking dungeons, which are active every single week up until Turbulent Timeways is gone, but as you complete those dungeons, you collect a buff that at certain stacks becomes Mastery of the
Right, but yeah, don't forget though, when this Turbulent Timeways event ends, just like the other ones, the next time it comes back, all the mounts that were available in this one will be purchasable with Time Warp badges. So don't forget that. Like, I missed the Corsair one because I went on vacation, you guys remember? And then I was able to purchase it right now. So I did. So don't get the FOMO. If you want to take a break from WoW, you can take a break from WoW over the break. Don't worry about it.
Timeways. Collecting the buff of Master of the Timeways for 5 weeks during this event gives you the achievement Master of the Turbulent Timeways, which gives you a mount voucher, which gives you an opportunity to purchase one of the 4 available new mounts available with this Turbulent Timeways. With the expansion of Shadowlands joining the Time Walking roster, we have 4 mounts that are Shadowlands themed. So we have the Necrolord mount, but a bronze version, the Kyrian mount, but a bronze version, the Venthyr mount, as well as the Nightfare mount. With the
Yeah, I'll be honest. Blizzard got lazy with these. I didn't care too much for them. Like, the Corsair mount was super badass. These just bronzified versions of the mounts that we already got from the expansion itself were kind of lazy. Yeah. Truck Up Blaze, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge.
their bronze counterparts.
I don't really care
So
to
you
get
basically
these.
can choose which one of these you get for free once you unlock the achievement. And once the achievement is unlocked, you can buy the rest of those mounts for Justice badges, or not Justice, Time War badges. They used to be called Justice badges back in the day. But you can buy them for Time War badges. That will cost like 5,000 per mount. But it's another opportunity for you to add even more mounts to your collection. So if you're someone who's working on this right now, doing regular time walking will mean that you will be able to purchase all of these mounts while the event is active, because once the event is gone, all the mounts will be returning at some point in the future, but not immediately. Also, every single week in Dornogal, while Turbulent Time was active, the Archivist was going to give you a quest for time walking, which grants you better rewards. Normally, they just give you like a random normal piece of gear, like champion track item from the current raid, but instead, during Turbulent Timeways, it's upgraded to hero track. So if you're someone who's looking to do last minute gearing ahead of midnight, then doing this quest every single week on any of your characters is probably the best and the fastest way for you to be able to prep a character before midnight with some gear to make your leveling through midnight a little bit easier. But with that being said, as always, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching and hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy this update or found that informative, go ahead and give this video a like, because I would very much appreciate it. Also, be sure to join our Discord community, especially if you just want to keep up with everything new happening with WoW. With the pre-patch approaching, we got midnight beta updates with a bunch of class tuning, especially if you're trying to find out which class you're going to make for the next expansion. We usually go over all of the newest changes there pretty regularly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Okay, yeah, some good fun things to do, a couple things here and there. Nothing, obviously nothing too, like, nothing required. You could literally just not play WoW right now until midnight pre-patch hits for the most part. But if you want some of these rewards, I agree with them. Some of this stuff's just a bit easier to get right now. The only thing that's, like, really shutting down is some of those end of expansion achievement amounts that you won't be able to get anymore, like the AOTC and stuff. And then finally, the Legion Remix stuff. That'll be gone once Legion Remix ends. So if you want to get that stuff, go get it. But overall, a nice video from Dalaran.